Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brad of the Pax Creed. I am here with Ark of Twilight and Barrel. This is going to be a bit different because I'm doing my Halloween video. You might be wondering, Brad, it's currently the 8th. Well, you see, little Timmy, I have, by the time Halloween comes around, I'll be both celebrating and a game will have come out, and I'll be have my life taken over for that, and I won't be recording that week. So yeah, this is what's happening right now. So, what we decided to do is tell the incredibly accurate, no flaws, complete story and lore of the Dark Souls 1 and 3 universe. So, you see, we're not doing Dark Souls 2 because that game is bad and it needs to be purged. And Bloodborne's its own shtick. So, in the beginning of time, the world started with a black void. Then a giant popcorn kernel came up out of the ground, screamed, "Fuck!" and water came out of the ground. So you see, this water, the first, we'll call it the first lake. This first lake was sought out by everyone, but everyone who drank it got space AIDS and died. Take it away, Beryl.
Um, yeah, that is quite true. And the space aids, it was very serious. Like, it would start on your dick, the top of your dick, turn it yellow. So it turned you basically into half Asian, you know? And then it would slowly turn you into a barrel. And then you'd probably get rolled into by some fat guy. And that's basically how you died.
That all your part is, Beryl?
Yeah. Space aids, serious cause death.
Alright, so yeah, if you're wondering, that's how what used to be Loot Explosion 02, that legend, turned into what you see now. A barrel that looks like it's very rotten wood. I'm pretty sure I could breathe on this thing and it would fall apart.
What the fuck you say about me?
I'm sorry, but back to the story.
The worms have consumed your brain.
But I'm sorry, so, back to the story. So after the space age took over and this epidemic killed people, one man, one myth, one legend who led an army of toasters. Most people knew them as Silver Knights, but they were wrong. It's actually toasters. One man named Gwyn led an army of toasters down to the deepest depths of Kmart. And
Don't forget, his whole name was Gwen Stacy.
yeah, Gwen Stacy led an army of toasters down to Kmart, and most people consider it a place called Ulasil where the witches founded pyromancy. And that's how they created some demons. No, he led an army, Gwen Stacy led an army of toasters down to Kmart, where the bitches of Ulasil, excuse me, Izalith. I just got done with the DLC, guys. The bitches of Izalith, they did not found magic. They founded the ancient martial art of circle jerking. So, the, circle jerking witches, Gwen Stacy just all of a sudden got up with his brute retard strength because he had Alzheimer's and Asperger's all at once. And he actually founded the space aids. He just took the toasters and started whipping them around by the cord like he's a fucking ninja, slaying the bitches of Izalith in their seat. Austin, your turn.
Well, after the witches were straight up slaughtered in ways in which you could never comprehend with those toasters. Some reason those toasters were red molten lava hot, I don't understand. But apparently he accidentally hit a random stick, Glenn Stacy did, in the middle of that whole thing, and it started a fire. And then the fire just kept spreading and spreading and spreading some more. Until, fire became one with the world. It burned They all burned them endangered creatures. I mean, what? Anyway. And
Your
then,
turn, Barrel.
yeah, Barrel, go
Oh.
ahead. Finish the fucking story.
Yeah, well, I want to just go a bit back to that circle jerking thing. Now, they kind of based it around. They see it at the top of the barrel, yeah. So, the whole point was, yeah, if they circle jerk around a barrel, yeah, your cum just goes in a barrel and it's great. It's just great. It's like easy, renewable. Renewable? What the fuck am I saying? Well, yeah, you can renew it. Like, it's like you dump a load come in there, you can renew it another day, use it as glue, you know. Like,
And
Elmer's
you'll
glue is
never
made
run
out
out
of
of
cum, by
sperm
the
and
way.
you'll have kids.
Yeah. So if you ever get some disease where you can't have kids, you have a barrel just full of it.
The Barrel's to blame.
Right. So, after the whole fire consumed this land, a giant floating island that had the popcorn kernel from the beginning. Yeah, you remember the very beginning of the story? The popcorn that spoke fuck and the world became a thing? A floating island came out of the ground with the popcorn kernel on it. And little did we know this island was in the... Ooh, it moved. The barrel moved, guys. Did you see?
Barrels don't move! Stop being delusional!
If you could only see what we're seeing. It moved again! But what you don't see is... Inside that floating island was the fucking Death Star. And Emperor Palpatine was the popcorn kernel.
360
Now, this Death
Star.
Star wasn't like any other Death Star. It was the Death Testicle. Now, what this thing does is it just drips death sweat. You ever had swamp dick? Yeah. It just dripped its dick cheese. Okay, take it away, Barrel. I can't.
Okay, about the dick cheese, yeah. Now this was like, you know when you
Fucking
go
shit,
like
man.
to the cinemas and like they give you nachos and cheese, but the cheese is like really stringy and nice. That's how the dick sweat was. It was like, ooh, nice texture. So it basically fed the Africans, yeah. And then the Death Star blew up, yeah. The Africans had no food, and that's why Africans are starving today. Take it away.
Austin.
Well, and then the whole African thing. They started like, we need to find somewhere to live, and so they moved on to a different land. It was called the Americas. And then they got segregated in multiple ways, and now they fight for their freedom, something like that. I don't remember. It's been ages. Take it away.
Alright. So, this whole black freedom thing, it's... Disclaimer, I'm not a racist much. But soon after, they lived a good time fighting with America, the Merkins, for years. They had a great time. In fact, some say the blacks got off on that. Oh my god, it's a real person, the Barrel broke character. There you go. The blacks had, were introduced to a clan that was completely free for them, and they welcomed the blacks. It was called the Ku Klux Klan. Now these things, they worshipped their leader, and they were the descendants of Gwen Stacy. See, these guys, Gwen Stacy commanded them to make Gwen hit that stick and make a giant flame, as Austin mentioned. So, they made the giant clan, the KKK welcomed the blacks, and then their whole thing is, they hated the South and worked for the North, and they hated the whites. So their motto was, Hail Gwen Stacy, Black Supremacy, Hitler did nothing wrong, Stalin's my dad. So, take it away, Barrel.
So I wasn't really listening to the storyline that much. I was basically just looking at my barrel features, and I really don't know where to go from. So I'm just gonna talk about the nags living as a barrel. Okay. So firstly, I look like a piece of shit, and you can see this like cloth type of thing on my barrel, and that's my hair. And I have a special hairdo, what is called sideways shit, and that's my hairdo.
Tasty.
And then I have ropes all over me, where someone tried to fill me with Coca-Cola. Like what? I don't
He's
want
talking about
diabetes.
that.
Like diabetes, like it's just disgusting. I hate it. I wish I didn't have it. I think AIDS is a lot better. Also, can I just say, yeah, there needs to be more mosquito nets in Africa, so then we could save millions of mosquitoes from needlessly dying from AIDS off the Africans. Take it away.
Austin.
I just want to let you know that if you guys haven't realized it, I was never here.
You see, this Austin guy, we were just
I'm
messing with you,
invisible.
exposing your
invisible.
mind for what it truly is. You're all insane. Austin was never truly there.
Yes, I
We
am
just
the
played a
conscience
prank.
inside your
He's
mind
all
that's
a
slowly
figment of your
fucking you
imagination.
inside.
Go to therapy. You're insane. But back to this whole story. Aside from barrel shit, and you're all fucking idiots. The This story ends with one simple thing. The blacks defeated the whites in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! As that's the tradition in this
Get back
world
in the
of...
fucking basement. Get back in the basement. Sorry, get back to the story.
What basement are you talking about?
But
You didn't hear anything.
as the blacks defeated the whites and banished them to the interdimensional rift from Final Fantasy V in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's how they, as that's all how they, and as that's the traditional way of solving people's problems in a game of card games and motorcycles. You're welcome, Austin.
Back in the fucking basement.
Then Gwen Stacy promptly hung himself because he realized he hated life and everything about it. And you know what they thought?
That is what fuels the Dark Souls.
The
world that
KKK
you
thought to
mistake.
themselves, you know what, let's do this thing. Let's make a castle, call it Lord, and make a kingdom called Lordran. That's just how this world was made. Thanks for the story. I'm Brad of the PAX Read, that's Austin, and that's Beryl. Have a good day.